So we're in the home stretch. I just got the sandwich bread in the oven. Can you see it? There she is. Just put that in there. That's gonna go 350 degrees for half an hour, which I forgot to set the timer. Okay, so now our timer's set for the bread, so we're good there. Our oven is from the 1930s, and she's kind of picky, and so usually at the halfway point we have to turn our loaves around or she's gonna burn one side and the other side will be raw. It's all good, she's pretty, so it's fine. Anyways, we had a bunch of cranberries left over. A lot of places right now, I saw you can get them at Walmart for 10 cents a bag. I haven't actually seen that, but we got ours for 2 for $1. And so this time of year, when we can get good deals on them, I like to make winter wassail. So what winter wassail is it's kind of like a cranberry apple spiced drink that we drink at the holidays. Some people drink it just as is. Some people add red wine to it. You can add bourbon to it, kind of however, you know, pick your poison. But just a glass of ice, and it's delicious on its own. So that's what we're doing this year with our leftover cranberries. So the recipe for this one is you're gonna fill jars. It's a water bath recipe, so I have a pot of water right here going. You just need a pot that's gonna be deep enough that the jars are gonna be covered while you water bath them. And water bath just means that once the jars are in there, they need to be covered by about 2 inches of water. And then this recipe is gonna go for 25 minutes at like a medium boil. And then you kind of just turn it off, let it chill, and then you take them out, and that makes them shelf stable. So this recipe, we're gonna fill each of our jars with some cranberries. I'm just gonna make equal amounts of the 6 jars. We're kind of eyeballing it here, obviously. Obviously, my guesses were off, so we're gonna steal from some of these earlier ones to get them about even. Some winter wassels don't have cranberries in them. I personally like to add a little bit of cranberry because it adds a little tartness to it. That we add lemon juice to it as well, but it's like maybe 3/4 of a cup of cranberries whole. They're just washed in each one. To that, we are gonna add half a cup, no, we'll use on that guy, half a cup of just white sugar to each one. I've seen people do this with other sweeteners. I personally just use sugar. It's the easiest for me to can with, and I always have it on hand. Now last year, when I made this, I used sliced apples. And that's what we're gonna be drinking this year. But I didn't have any sliced apples, but I did have apple juice. So we're gonna use that, but first let me grab the hot water. We're gonna add some hot water to each one. That's just to kind of help the sugars break down. So you don't have like a giant clump of sugar in your jar. I'm doing about 1 cup of water per. I have an electric kettle. I just use that. I'm a tea drinker, so I use that in the morning. So whenever I do canning, where you have to add hot water, I just heat that up. It's the easiest thing. Alrighty. So we have our hot water in there. Now I kind of just give them a little whirl. It kind of just dissipates the sugar. Like you can already see, it's pretty much gone. Some of it's settling at the bottom. When you can though, it's okay if the sugar settles at the bottom. It's not normal with this. And then over the year, as it's kind of chilling on the shelf, that'll break down a little bit more. So there's our water. Then we're gonna take, I have an organic orange because we're gonna be using the peels, and I'm just gonna drop a couple slices of orange into each jar. I'm gonna try to fit them in these. I usually like wide mouth, but at the end of the canning season, I'm down to the nitty gritty on our jars. So it is what it is for these guys. So there's our oranges. Then you can use ground ginger. I had some fresh, so I'm gonna try that this year. I just cut a piece of it, and I'm just gonna do a little sprinkle of each into each jar of that. Like I said, this is gonna be like a spiced mixture. So the ginger and the cranberry just makes it super festive. It's delicious. Once you start making it, it's one of those things you're gonna kind of do every year. I know Trader Joe's sells a winter wassail. You can usually get the first week, you can tell the mailman's here, first week of December, but it's really far from us and I can't get it. So cinnamon stick, just one cinnamon stick in each jar going in. If you live near an Asian market, I find this the awesome place. Like I got this huge tub of cinnamon sticks for $3. I know a lot of people also go to Amish markets. We don't have one of those anywhere near us, but we do have some Asian markets, so I get spices there a lot. So our cinnamon stick is in there. The next thing we're gonna do is just a little bit of cloves in each one. So I kind of just do, I'm just gonna measure it for you guys because it's about a teaspoon in each one. And those are just whole cloves. It's not an exact science. Honestly, I just kind of chuck that in the jar. So there's our cloves. I need some ground nutmeg. Sometimes I do fresh nutmeg. I do have that option, but when I was doing this many of them, I opted to just go with the powder that I had already. So you just kind of do a little sprinkle. Let me measure one for you so that I know. I'd say about a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. If you like it a little more nutmeggy, just add a little more. That's the love of the joy of these is you can kind of just wing it and they still taste delicious. All right, next we're gonna add some lemon zest. I didn't have fresh, but I had dehydrated. We got an abundance of lemons last year from somebody who had a tree, and we just dehydrated the peels and they were great. I would say if you were gonna do fresh lemon, you probably need 2 lemons between the 6 jars to kind of make it, enough to taste it. If you don't have lemon zest, it's okay, we're gonna add lemon juice too, and you can just stick with that. I just like the tartness that it adds. So I just add a little bit of that. And then, like I said, lemon juice, we're down to the nitty gritty. We measure. I'm not a measurer, I'm gonna just wing it, and then if it's awesome, that's great, but you're never gonna get it again because I didn't measure. So I'm getting better about writing things down. Right now I'm putting 2 teaspoons of lemon in each one. And this stuff is awesome, especially with the holidays coming up. If you have a pressure canner, you can pressure can this as well, and just like you would cranberry juice, and it will be ready this year. So you don't have to wait. There's barely any left, so I'm just gonna dump it in there. So you can gift it for this year if you pressure can it. But I'm gonna let it chill, and I'm gonna water bath can it. The last thing, because I didn't have the apples that I was hoping to have, is good old just apple juice. So we're just gonna fill it up to the top with our apple juice. Don't forget to leave your headspace at the top. That is not so pretty with all that in there. Come on. The color of the cranberries are just amazing. Okay. Like I said, you could use apple slices if you have them. I think last year I did about half an apple in each one because we had just gone to an apple orchard, but this year we didn't go to the apple orchard, and so we're using just apple juice. Top these ones off a little bit higher now that the air is kind of come out. Cranberries are usually going to float, so you you kind of tap them just to get your air out. And then make sure that you have your apple juice at the top. So what we're gonna do now with these beautiful things, I mean, come on guys, look at that beautifulness. Who wouldn't want that? They will, by the way, turn like a really pretty crimson red. We're just gonna put the lids on them. And like I said, as soon as my water starts boiling, it's a 25-minute water bath. For those, I'll show you those when they come out, and then our bread should be done just about exactly the same time. Awesome, and then we're almost done. Except after that, I have to make some naan for dinner. We're having gyros for dinner, so I'll begin working on that. It's a never-ending day. But I did take a long break in the middle, like I said, to eat lunch, and then I actually have a home business, and with Black Friday just happening, we had to get our shipments in the mail. So I did leave the house for a little bit, but now I'm back, and we're finishing up for the day. We'll see you in a minute. Hey, if you're still here with me, thank you so much for sticking around, because I'm pretty sure what I thought was gonna be a pretty quick video has turned into like 30 minutes at this point. Anyways, I pulled these out of the canner, the winter wassail. Let me grab a pair of the tongs because these are still molten lava hot. But as you can see, they've turned like this beautiful pink. All of our pretty stuff is in there. So we got our winter wassail done. I'll put it on the shelf until probably 3 months. We'll try it. If you want to, like I said, if you want to pressure can it, you could have it for this year. If you want to try it this year, it just won't be quite as strong as it would be if you let it sit a little bit longer. But winter wassail is